All right, what to do? Well, first, do we want to pull these out or not? What do you guys think? I'm of the mind that I want to pull them out because they're in the way. Let's see how they're attached. They're riveted. Oh, good Lord. Oh, good Lord. They're riveted, and these wires are nasty, man. I really had hopes of getting these out of there. It's just these shield cans that are riveted, and the transformers are bolted in, but it doesn't matter, man. If they're riveted, they're riveted. I'm not going to get them out. But I'm going to need the room to work. Well, okay. Tell you what I'll do is pull this guy off first. Not sure how it attaches either, but it can't be that hard to figure out. It looks like it's maybe screwed down right here. I don't know if there's one on the other side or not. One way to find out. Let's take this thing loose and see what happens. We need to make some room in here because there's no room to work. And you can't see anything, and I'm blind as it is. So, we start taking things out, we might be able to do that. Okay, so I think that's going to loosen this up. Yep, it'll come out of there. Wow, look at that nasty mess. You see that? That all came in through, from this thing, I'm sure, came in through here and just flowed along here. Right now, I'll just set it aside. That'll make me crazy too, though, won't it? A lot of things make me crazy, guys. Just so you know. A lot of wires for this guy. Check it out. It looks like a capacitor. This wire here is coming from this can. You have 4 at 150, 8 at 150, and something at 25. Maybe 4 at 25 it looks like. I don't know what the 20 plus means. I think what it's saying is you got a 20 microfarad and a 4 microfarad all at 150, but why in the heck would it not just say all of them are at 150? Let's look at the drawing here. Starting on the right, there's a 4 at 150, and there's a 20 at 150, I think, an 8 at 150, and a 4 at 25. Is that what you guys are seeing? A 4 at 150 on the right, a 20 at 150, all right, an 8 at 150. Always the number you want to read the most is the one that's the most blurry, and a 4 at 25. So this is the one. It's got 5 wires. Blue, black, red, green, and yellow. This guy has 5 wires. I'm not sure which one is blue. It's probably black. That'll be red, green, yellow. This might be blue. There's blue, the one that looks green. Okay. That's probably green, the one that looks yellow. Black is black. This will be red. You see the red right there. Okay. Yeah. So, blue, black, red, green, and yellow. Okay, there we go. This guy is coming out because it is in the way. So I am just going to cut these wires. Okay, here we go. But I'll tell you, I am going to label them because it won't hurt me to label them. And then I'll... Fred. See? My buddy just joined me. He's decided he wants to help. I was just about to sit on the chair and he jumped up behind me. He's a good kitty though. What do you think? Should I just let him have the chair for a while? It is his chair. I've just been borrowing it. So I think maybe I'll let him watch. What do you think? I love what Jim Linden does when he has Shadow up on his bench. That just tickles me to no end, man. So let me see if Fred's interested in watching. Fred's kind of sleepy. Cats, you know, they sleep a lot. You know, most cats sleep a lot, but Fred sleeps an awful lot, more than other cats. All right, there's number 8. Cut him as I go. I'm never going to use this cat, so I'll just cut it short. I need the length. All right, let's do number 9. What you doing, Fred? Put number 9 right here. Okay. Yikes. Fred, why'd you let that happen? You're not being that helpful, Fred. No, that's not what we want to do, is it? No, sir. Shadow can get away with that because Shadow's a kitten, Fred. You're a couple of years old now, a year and a half. It's time you grew up. What do you think? There's 10. The reason I number these is because if I am going backward through the numbers and I can't find one, then I know that I've missed a wire. There's 11. Just one more, Fred. Just one more. Look at that. Just one more, buddy. Is that pretty cool? You're kind of boring today, Fred. Want to play with my pen? You want to play with the pen? You want the pen? Yeah? Yeah? Is it poking you in the nose? You don't like that? Oh, you want it to pet you? He's purring like crazy, guys. He wants the pen to pet him. Are you starving for attention, Fred? There you go. There you go. Bite it. Bite it. It'll get you. It's going to get you. It's going to get you, Fred. You got to... Okay, got this old beast out of there. Alright, we're making room, guys. I might be able to work while leaving these in there, but it's still going to be hard. I wish these braces came out. They're riveted in. There's a lot of riveted stuff. That was an easy and cheap way to make stuff. Now we got this big block capacitor that sticks out, that's sitting on the top side. And let me find the part number on that guy. 28179, I think. Yeah, the bypass condenser. Hey, what are you doing? Can you bring that back? So all that is There's that 28179, and all that is a couple of line filter capacitors. They can be replaced with a couple of safety caps that will be about the size of, about the size of a diode. So that can will be easy to take care of, because I can bake that can and get that tar out of there and make use of that thing. So I need to clip these wires and lift that sucker off. So I think that's what I'll do now. And they're a rotten mess anyway, and it sure would be nice to clean all that up. I don't like working with icky. Fred has commandeered my pen. That's his pen now. I don't have a choice in the matter. All I can do is replace the pen. So one day I'll find his stash. I know he hides them somewhere out there under my under my radios. And what Fred likes to do is he'll get that pen in a corner somewhere so that he can try to get it out of the corner. That's just what he does. He's kind of a strange little fella. There you go, Fred. Now, Fred, modesty is a virtue. Well, all I know is he's not bothering me. So that's a good thing. You just go play, Fred. I got things to do. You don't bother me. Alright, so I'm going to have to worry about getting these out of here. Let's see how many there are. Because I don't know if that's all that's in that can. I don't know what this guy is all about. I can hear Fred purring from all the way over here. I need to try and get all those wires out of there, and they are icky. They're a bit of a mess. I don't know if that's all that is in that can or not. I'm going to have to study up on the schemo, guys. So I'm going to do that, and then I'll report back to you, okay? Well, you can kind of see what I found under the electrical tape here. Of course, more electrical tape. No one ever puts electrical tape on in a single layer. I hate electrical tape. So these are the two wires for the line cord. I'm not quite sure what this white wire is, and it is coming from looks like it's pin 1 on this rectifier tube. Yeah, pin 1. Well, no. Yeah. Pin 1 on the rectifier tube. So pin 1 on the rectifier tube is one of the heaters. But this is very strange. This can't be wired right. Here's 1 and there's 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yet they have the line cord wired to pin 2. Oops, I have that wrong. No. This one goes to pin 2. And this one here goes off here to this resistor block. Pin 2 and pin 5 are connected together, so this one is connected to the right spot. And this red one, the other one, it goes off to this terminal strip right here, this solder mess. Looking at the schematic, you see that there's a branch of the line cord that comes off and goes through a 120 ohm resistor. Well, that 120 ohm resistor is that ballast resistor that was built into the line cord. And then it goes across the lamps, one after the other, in parallel with a couple of 21 ohm resistors. And, each parallel set is in series, so you have this little circuit right here. And then, of course, the whole thing goes off to the heaters for the rest of the tubes. Remember, this is a 5-tube transformerless radio, so all the tube heaters need to be in series and should add up to roughly 120 volts. Well, the previous owner that had this had somehow gotten rid of the 120 ohm resistor because there was just a white wire going straight from the line cord to the heater pin 1 25Z5. So I've got to fix that, and I've also got to check and make sure these are in place as well. So I'm going to get to work on that. What I've done is I've installed a fuse holder, and that fuse holder, you know, basically is in this point right down here. And I'm going to come off of the fuse holder. I'm going to take a 120 ohm resistor off the fuse holder and go to that pin 1, and then I'll just take a direct line off of the fuse holder to go to the rest of the circuit. That should take care of it. So now I'm back to looking at these wires, and I have to figure out what I want to do about them. Okay guys, the plot thickens a little bit, and I'm going to pull this lamp mount off of here. I'm going to try and disassemble this stuff here a little bit because it's kind of a mess under there, and I think there was some hacking going on, and I want to take care of it if I can. So I'm glad that's a slot, not a hole. That helps a lot. Alright, so let's see what happens if I lift that off. Not really short of wire, so I should be able, yeah, there we go. It's just that everything's stiff. Okay. Yeah. Man, I did not expect to have to disassemble this thing as far as I have been. That's okay. Sometimes that happens when we work on radios. That's the nature of things. If you look closely, you can probably see the electrical tape in there. Now, let's just see what the heck. There's tar all over everything here. That's not tape. That's tar. So looking at this tar mess that's down in there, something got hot. I thought it was electrical tape that was in there, but nope, it's not. It is nasty, melted, and then solidified tar. Like a lava flow. A lot of it. That means something got pretty toasty. That's never good. That is never good news. Wow. Where this cap, where the wires came through, it's all full of tar in there too, and I'm hoping that it came from the cap. I can live with that. The tar doesn't taste very good, guys. I can live with that capacitor. What I have a hard time living with is if it's this choke, but I don't think that all this tar would be inside that choke. That's going to have some varnish on the windings, and that's about it. It would have maybe some tar, but not a lot. Not like this. What I'm talking about is there's tar coming in through this hole right here too. And this is at the bottom of this can. So I'm hoping that it's this can that did all that leaking, and that it was just some shorted capacitors that caused all that heat. Otherwise, we got problems. I've been looking at this simplified schematic that I showed you earlier, and I pointed out to you before that the electrolytic capacitor that was in that cardboard box is described right here. Well, the capacitor that's in that can is described by these two guys right here. Now the one that's in this radio is this guy right here, this 28179. So this is really cool because the capacitors are shown in here with their values, and the colors of the wires are shown. So if I cut the wires and I leave the wires in place, it should be a simple matter of hooking it all back up. We're going to go ahead and tear these out of here, and get to making a new. We're going to gut this box and put as much as we can inside this box here. And then we'll get on to putting the rest of the capacitors in this space over here that was vacated by that cardboard box. Shouldn't be too bad. Now we are going to number these wires as we go anyway, even though it should be pretty obvious where they go. I always like to number when I can, because you never know what you're going to run into if you don't number them. So let's see, where did I stop? I think I stopped at number 11. Did I ever make it to 12? Yep, I made it to 12. I know I didn't get beyond 12. According to the schematic, we have two wires that are black with yellow. Let's deal with those first. Those are both 0.25 microfarad. Here is one of those black with yellow wires right here. We're going to go ahead and get that one out of there. And here's the other one. Both of these black with yellow wires, these two wires right here, both go to resistors. One goes to the 270K resistor on the end of this terminal strip, and the other one goes to this 500K resistor right here. So we should have no trouble remembering where those go. I'm going to run new wire anyway because this wire is all shot, so it's going to have to be new. Cut that one. That will be number 13. If I can find my pen. Forever losing pens. My wife buys me Sharpie markers at the office store by the box full because I lose them. They go somewhere. As Larry on Back to the Future Radio says, they go somewhere. I don't know where they go. Larry, do you know? Larry is doing an awesome, I mean, he's probably done with it by now because I'm behind on watching videos as well as making them. And he's doing an awesome series on an on a General Electric that I just think is cool. It's called a Colorama. I think the model was E91. And wow, he's doing a really nice job on it, and it's a beautiful thing to watch because I've never seen one of these radios before, so I'm learning a lot. Alrighty, now there's 9 wires coming out of this capacitor, so that's 9 clips I'm going to have to make. 9 new wires I'm going to have to install. We next have these yellow leads that are twisted, like so. They come straight out of the box, and they're a twisted pair. One side of that twisting goes to the first IF transformer, right there on that corner there, the corner that's facing. We're looking right now in the direction of the dial. And the other part of that twisted lead goes off here to, if I remember right, that is the 6F7 tube. I'm not sure what pin. Actually, no. Yes, it goes off to the 6F7 tube way up here. We'll just cut the lead and we'll be able to tell. And you know that twisting is right because there we have it. You can see it right there in the drawing. It says to twist. And they say green and yellow, so perhaps the green is faded on these wires. If you look close, you can kind of see a hint of it, I suppose. Let's take a look. If you look real close at this, you might see the remnants of some green stripes in there. I'm thinking, yeah, they're right there. So this is, yeah, green and yellow makes sense. So I'm going to clip these wires, and they'll be numbers 14 and 15. All right, put one piece of tape on either side of where I want to cut it. And then go ahead and stick the snippers in between the two and cut away. They're labeled. There's a black wire right there, nicely shiny lacquered black wire. And there is the black wire on the schematic. You see right next to that black wire there's a 0.05 capacitor, 0.05 microfarad capacitor that doesn't seem to be going anywhere. Wonder what that's all about. Next, I have this red wire that is going to, it's going to this pin 2 on the rectifier tube. There's one red wire on that schematic. Number 18. Let's see, we have 2 orange ones. Looking at the schematic, you see 2 orange wires and a brown wire, and they're sort of separate from the other capacitors. Let's take a look. They look like 0.03 microfarads. I'll have to look at the part numbers. So here are the two. These are probably the orange wires right here. Let's see. Yeah, that looks pretty orange to me. So what you do is you just take your fingernail and you scrape away all the junk, and when you get to some more fresh stuff underneath, some more fresh cloth on the insulation, it'll show you the color. And these look orange enough to me I feel like that's the ones they are. All right, I'm going to label this first orange wire number 19. Okay, it's number 19. One more to go, and then we can pull this capacitor out of here. Wow. Okay, this one will be number 20. So last orange wire will be number 20. All right, all those capacitors are disconnected. Now I have to pull those wires through without tearing the tags off. But I don't think that's going to be a big problem. Just straighten them all out so they cause as little drag as possible. And to get this capacitor out of here, there's just these two nuts here that have to be loosened. Loosen these nuts, this thing will drop right out. These are like studs that are kind of pressed into this box. So let's go ahead and do that. I notice none of these have any star washers or any other kind of lock washers, so several of them have been loose. If something sits around for 80 years, things will get loose just from the normal shrinkage and expansion of things with temperature. That's all it takes. Alright, so no lock washers of any kind. Let's lift this out of there. The tar had it stuck a little bit. I'm pretty sure it's this thing that caused all that tar leakage. So let's see if we can't yank this out. I don't have to be terribly gentle because I'm not going to save anything from this thing. I do want to keep the markings on the wires if I can help it. There we go. Alright. Okay, guys. We'll deal with the chassis later. Let's set the chassis aside. And let's have a gander at this this block. Now you see how all this tar is formed up nice and flat here. Okay, I'll tell you why that is. It's even you can even see some paint left from when they painted the chassis on this tar. This thing got hot, as I thought. It all melted and came, remember this is the top, it all sort of fell down on the bottom here, and it formed this, it molded flat against the chassis. Usually when you see these, they fill tar up to about here, not quite the very top. And so you kind of see a meniscus in there, you know, a curved shape to it that's concave down into the box. But that's not the case with this because it got hot and it all melted. So something in there shorted, or was shorting, or was leaking badly. Got it nice and hot, and out it fell. So now what I'm going to do, I'll pop this in the oven. I'll pluck this whole arrangement out of here, and all the tar will come to. And hopefully I'll be able to preserve the wiring tags that I made. And then I'll be able to see what I need to, what I need to connect these two when I put it all back in. What I'm going to do is inside of here, most of the capacitors are small enough value that I think I can fit them all in here. Well, okay, boys and girls, I think it's time to wrap it up. I will show you the work on this capacitor block later. For now, I'm going to shut it down and get to work on the chassis. That's really dull, so it won't make you watch it. So from your Western Outpost in Salt Lake City, this is Michael. That's all for now.